This AFC East Division Preview Edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Circus Sports. Circus Sports is giving away $14 million this NFL season. Sign up in Vegas and play from anywhere. Get all the info over at circusports.com. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app to get last-minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed. Use promo code SGPN for $20 off. We're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code DGEN. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet, only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code DGEN.
Hey, this is LeGarrette Blunt, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Oh, no baby whale sound drop. We're here.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Here we are on the Eastern Seaboard board. We are looking at I believe it was a sunfish.
Yes,
Some sort of
it was a sunfish. Yes,
but it was a baby whale. And I know we didn't tell Josh to prepare, but maybe we'll close the episode with it because every year one of my favorite things is people asking us where that came from.
Oh yeah,
because there is something magical when you hear a drop in the long form, where your brain, almost like a Pavlov's dog, where it's just like bang, you light up, and it's like, that's amazing. Teaser alert, Sean. I think we might have to bring back Bites Bracket.
Ooh, that was super fun, and because we have a bunch more sound drops to get in there.
Yes. So all of that to say,
I mean that's a 1 or a 2 seed at the very least.
Well, and if you ever want to really have fun, go watch the touchdown when Randy Moss does the mooning, and when you hear Joe Buck, it'll just be like, that almost doesn't sound real. It almost doesn't sound real.
Oh man, speaking of not real, I can't believe it's right around the corner. I've checked into our flight. We're going to be out in beautiful Las Vegas tomorrow through Saturday, getting all signed up for the Circa Million, Circa Survivor. Again, if you guys are going out, come by. We're going to be doing a couple podcasts from the ballroom. There's going to be some open bar events where we will be there as well.
Ding, ding, ding.
Highly recommend signing up for these contests. Again, $14 million up for grabs. Dare to dream. It is Las Vegas. It is the NFL season. Can't wait to get signed up myself. And you guys should sign up too. It's a super fun contest. They run a great contest over there. Zero rake. And again, come say hi if you're out for this weekend, or if you miss us, you got until right until NFL kicks off. So plenty of time. Go to circusports.com for all the details. Kramer, I mean, it's here. We're going to be next podcast. Well, we're doing our week 3 or week 4 preseason picks podcast tonight at 8:30 Pacific over on youtube.com/sports gambling podcast. So we do have that to get into. It is first off, also Ryan, happy birthday Eve. I know cousin Mush in the chat.
Jesus.
And also big thanks to everyone who gave us a lot of good feedback on the Patreon stories. Bonus podcast, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Appreciate all the support there. Going to keep dropping those. We have a weekly Patreon pick'em. This week it's going to be all college football picks, and of course our $1,000 NFL win totals contest. So a lot of opportunities to cash in. Let's go. Kramer, we're talking AFC East division preview, kind of walking through. Again, if you want a deeper dive into each team, we do have all 32 NFL team previews out.
Yeah,
ready to download.
Imagine if the index of a book also had some additional content.
Yeah. Oh, and a couple of these bets, there's some slight changes.
You remember those books where you'd read and you get to the end and be like, if you want to turn right, turn to page 29. If you would like to turn left,
choose your own adventure.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially what we're doing. If you like the takes, zoom in, go check out the team preview.
Or if you're fired up by the takes and you want to getting our mentions at Gambling Podcast. Always down to mix it up. Shout out to
actually breaking news.
Yes.
I'm actually at capacity right now in my mentions with the Trey Lance truthers.
Yeah, I mean my DMs are full because all the apologies just rolling in one after the other. You and Ryan were so right. Trey Lance was going to be the third quarterback the entire time. Oh man, I think I've added freezing cold takes the most.
I feel bad.
I must be setting a record.
If someone was tagging me this many times, I'd probably get a little bit annoyed. But it's part of the job. You have to report irresponsible takes. Got to let the take police know, and
Ryan,
we all have agreed on
something. See something, say something, and we did, and we were right.
That's how we together take down corporate gambling.
One guy was accusing me, or just he was throwing out the idea. He goes, "What's all this I've been hearing? Are you turning into corporate gambling?" First off, no,
wow,
never.
What does that
never
mean?
I don't know. To me, I think we need to spell out. For me, corporate gambling is people giving out gambling content, giving out gambling takes when you know they have no business gambling. They've never sat in a sweaty garage with a giant piece of chew. They've never been. They never smashed glasses. Because they were so hammered while cheering on a crazy Dolphins money line bet when they do. They've never got second place in the DraftKings Millie Maker while giving out the lineup on their podcast. To me, when I call out corporate gambling, what I'm calling out, Ryan, is this machine that just churns out shitty content.
Well, first of all, I got to know who this was that called you out. The fact that you're responding, A, B.
No, I just want to clarify.
B, yeah. Oh. So people are upset with some of our changes, and they're calling us corporations.
No,
okay,
no. I mean, he said, "Are you becoming a part of corporate gambling?" And
but there was no context to that.
I mean, I could read you the whole thing, Ryan, but it's
it seems like it's an uneducated take.
Yeah.
And to your point, I posted a picture the other day at Kramer Centric over on the X.
If you want to know what corporate gambling looks like, we wear socks when we tape our shows.
No times.
Pastel shirts. I mean, sometimes I'm in my
if you're
Crocs.
coming off a hot yoga session.
Yeah, I'll be wearing my Crocs, but that's different. That's different. To be clear, we are not corporate gambling. We actually gamble, and we're DJs. That's all.
Hashtag Degens only.
Case closed.
Yeah, I mean, bring it, motherfucker. All right, let's talk AFC East. Really set the tone there. I kind of
coming in hot.
I want to do some battle. I mean, honestly, I would love to wrestle that person. Like, hey, tough guy, you want to get in on here? Played a little collegiate rugby. I know how to get low. 4th place, Patriots. Give me that. Even money. The price has gotten better since we gave it out on our show on the team preview.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
I mean, it's hard to build a scenario where the Patriots aren't the last place team.
Yeah, I think even in. Again, the Jets weren't that horrible with horrible quarterback play last year.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not forget Mike White and Joe Flacco both had 40-point performances, which you can count the number of teams that had quarterbacks do that twice. I think there's maybe the Eagles, Chiefs, and Bills. So shout out to the Jets for having that, but massive upgrade at quarterback play, even if you hate them, and all the swirling winds. I just don't. I even thought about whipping out some sort of weird like superfecta situation here, but I thought just take the easy chalk. Not in on Bill O'Brien. Don't think the change matters.
Yeah, I and maybe honestly, there's a world where their offense is slightly better, but they end up not. They still end up going. I have them 7-10. You have them 6-11. We both have them going under. I mean, we walked through the schedule with Boston Capper again, who is on the cynical side of Patriots fandom. He called out Bill Belichick. I mean, you want to see some fiery takes. Look at our Bill Belichick clip on Instagram. It was impressive that a Patriots fan enraged Patriots Nation so hard, but I think there's a world where maybe their offense is a little bit better, but they don't end up winning more games because of their schedule. Like their schedule to me is the hardest thing to get excited about. And they brought in Ezekiel Elliott, which I think one of the props I did like was Ramondre Stevenson over touchdowns. I obviously don't like it as much with the addition of Zeke because I think Zeke's going to be the goal line back for this team. And he might snake some Ramondre touchdowns.
A pretty big guy. and Zeke is just like, move over, little guy.
Yeah, it is weird. When you look at Zeke, a guy who follows the Patriot way, who's super disciplined, who's gonna be doing all the cardio. Can you imagine Zeke running hills?
Never seen.
Maybe if there's like an ice cream truck at the top.
Never seen a member of the Patriots doing any sort of faded streaming. Never seen any of the Patriots just look fat and out of shape at all times. Now, I would be willing to bet that the Zeke thing doesn't last a season. Like, is that like if we could find odds on that?
Yeah.
Does he make it even a week 1? Is he that desperate to play football? I don't know. Yeah. So I mean, I would love to bet Zeke unders.
Oh well, I think they put out a price on his rushing yards. Is that what you're going to give out as the prop, right?
Oh, if there's an actual number.
Yeah. Didn't we?
Oh, did we talk about it?
Yeah.
And I just mental blocked it. Well,
we randomly talked about it on I think the Bills preview. Because that was when it was announced. We gave out Zeke under 450.5 rushing yards. So I'll have to bring that back.
We'll just throw that on the sheet.
Yeah.
Erase whatever I have in there.
450.5 rushing yards.
That's all right. So
that's a lot of running for a guy in a belly shirt.
Do you think he's in shape? Do you think he's in shape?
I don't know.
No. I don't see how this works out. I think they have Ramondre Stevenson. I think they have some other running backs. I don't even really understand why they brought him in. It almost seemed like that Mac Jones, Zeke sitting on the same side of the table photo was very strange. To me, part of the reason I like the 4th place prop is because the crater potential here. People think it's Belichick, so there's no crater potential. Belichick has been leaking for some time now. GM Belichick hasn't been doing Coach Belichick any favors. Coach Belichick's losing some of his best assistants, and now he's only got the lackeys hanging around.
Cousin Mush is claiming he's in better shape than Zeke Elliott. Ryan, I would pay good money to see that combine.
I'd love to see
Zeke versus Cousin Mush.
Cousin Mush
jumping up, hitting those those little poles you hit there. 3-cone technique. Zeke versus Cousin Mush.
Yeah, I want to see Zeke. I want to see that on the Zeke play. I want to see Cousin Mush and Zeke isolated one-on-one on a.
Well, again, rushing yards. I mean, I'm hearing they brought him in for O-line depth, so I don't even know why they're listing a rushing yards. Maybe there's some trick play where they hand off the ball to the center, Ezekiel Elliott. Man, what a great way for him to end his Dallas career, and just really beautiful. Thanks for all the memories.
Does he play for another team after this?
No.
Ooh.
I mean, we see running backs, especially guys like him who aren't putting in the extra work to keep their body. I mean, dude, he's put a ton of miles on his body.
Yep. He's 1,881 carries, a number of like that number just has basically drifted off since 2018 when he was arguably at his peak. Rookie year 2 was a good one. And as you said, like he's obviously a guy not working that hard in the offseason. Which is fine. Like James Harden doing fine, Zeke doing fine, but not working hard. Hasn't had to work hard in a while. And Sean, he's certainly going to have to deal with the naughty flesh between his ears because his BFF Rain Dakota Prescott is not close by anymore.
No,
they're not going to be able to exchange gifts in person during training camp.
I mean, does he just break out that piece of rollaway luggage that Dak got for him and just dream of better days?
It'd be funny if he just replaces him with Mac Jones. And it's just like
Earl in the YouTube chat saying Zeke lost weight. He cut his hair.
Oh, stop it. Oh, I get it. That's a joke. Nice joke. Yeah. I good luck. Maybe he's back. Unlikely he's back. Averaged 3.8 yards a carry last year. You know what you know how many carries he'd have to get to 450, Sean?
At what? What are we?
3.8. That was his average last year.
That's a lot of carries.
He needs 119 carries.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Where are those?
Very limited role. I mean, again, they have Pierre Strong. They have obviously Ramondre Stevenson.
Fade. He could. I mean, our worst nightmare is he gets cut before the season. We need him to play a snap. So, all right, let's move along to teams that matter.
Exactly.
All right, Miami.
Ty Montgomery.
Well, I didn't even start it right because 7.5 was the number. We were both under 7 and 10 for me, 6 and 11 for you. kind of.
No, I'm 7-10. You're 6.
Sorry, 7. I almost felt like maybe this is a team that needs a win taken away. I went back, looked at the schedule. I'm fine with it. But moving along to Miami, 9-5. I assume you're not changing New England prediction. 7-10 is pretty high though.
All right. I need to make up some wins. I'll knock them down to 6-11.
Scorching hot. All right, moving along to Miami, 9.5, big jump there, 2 wins. So again, getting that 4th place price at even money just feels like cheating. Miami, you had 10-7 going over. I had 11-6 going over. I haven't worked out all the playoff scenarios, but I assume that means both teams are probably in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, for my future, give me Miami to make the playoffs at -105. Again, like they were able to move the ball with Tua. I'm not a big Tua fan, but again, that offense.
You respected it last year.
Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle are really good. The interesting thing about the Dolphins though is it can go comically wrong. Like if you're asking me about a team that can shock the world and have the fewest amount of wins, that is my prop at 90-1.
Stop it.
90-1. The Miami Dolphins have the fewest amount of wins. 100%. What Mike White is dealing with concussions as well. Like he was knocked out of a game. We saw. It's weird because they still played pretty good, but they lost a bunch of games without Tua.
This is some you're giving out a free masterclass in touting right now.
No,
just giving out that sick ass even money, make playoffs, and then coming back with a zinger, 90-1 lowest.
It's a fun hedge because I think if it goes bad for the Dolphins, it's not 8-9, it's not 7-10, it's 3-14. It goes.
They scored points with
off.
Skylar Thompson. They scored points,
but did they win games, Ryan?
No. But you're saying right. Fewest points.
No, I said fewest wins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Again, I think the system, much like with Shanahan, is probably with the amount of talent there, is going to get enough wins to not be the worst team. But all right, I like the moxie.
No, it's a long shot bet for a reason.
I like the Dolphins this year. I don't think the floor is as severe as you make it seem because I think they upgraded the backup situation, and
there's just been some troubling things like the Jalen Ramsey coming in immediately getting hurt, stuff like that. Devin Achane. Seemingly like he's not going to barely crack the roster. Like there's just some red flags happening for Miami. Maybe Miami ends up trading for Jonathan Taylor. The feeling I get is Jonathan Taylor is not going to get traded.
No, my thought is I think Miami's been fine with their situation at running back the entire time. Like sure, Achane not being there would be a bummer, but I believe it's injury. Like I believe he's fine. I haven't read a ton of stuff suggesting like he's a roster bubble guy.
Oh no, he's not going to get cut, but he's dealing with a shoulder injury even before that.
But that's their system, right? They have Mostert and Wilson are healthy right now. They'll rotate that in. Achane gets healthy. One of those guys that gets hurt. That's the system.
Now it does make me like Jeff Wilson.
Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert.
But.
We've been drafting in fantasy a lot in the later rounds. Sean, for my future, Miami to win the division 3-1. This was one of the earliest bets I've made. I've told everyone April 11th. Remember that day.
A day that will live in infamy.
I believe we were in. It probably was when we were out in Vegas, actually, when we did that way too early look, maybe. Anyway, yeah, I just think when you look at the rosters, I wanted to find a way to subtly fade the Bills and fade the Jets. And I think this is a fun way to do it because I don't see that much of a difference between these teams. Obviously, the Tua falling to the ground the correct way aside, I think.
Why would you announce that? Like
it wasn't me getting hit; it was me hitting the ground. So I went and learned how to hit the ground better. I mean, great, good on him.
I mean,
Island strong. I love that.
But also, it's a weird thing to prepare. Like, all right, hey, listen, guys, I'm gonna get sacked a bunch this year.
Like imagine him in the shotgun. He's in like a fucking judo stance.
Yeah. Is he? That would be great if someone was coming around coming around Tuna, and imagine they're trying to do a strip sack, and he grabs his arm and
he gives him a hip toss. Oh shit!
Imagine how crazy that must have been. There was probably some guy walking by, and there's a judo studio right underneath our office here.
Excuse me, Sean. That's a keto.
Keto.
How dare you?
Sorry, same difference.
That's Steven Seagal's.
But they have the glass windows. Like there probably was a person walking down a street in Miami, looks into the judo class, and they're like, "Wait, is that Tua wearing a white belt?"
Yeah, basically.
I do have a visual of like a fourth grader wearing an orange belt, like taking Tua down. Oh man, we got to write a movie about this. Foot Fist Way, starring Tua.
Foot Fist Way, nice.
That's a great movie. Hey Ryan, speaking of great stuff, game time, baby. Maybe you're going to a Dolphins game. Oh man, I can't wait to go to the Eagles Rams. Still trying to figure out who's coming, who's in, who's out. We're planning on also going to the UCLA game against the Buffalo Colorado Buffs. And it's always going to come down to the last minute, right? Because, I'm in, I'm out, I can't make it. Turns out one of the guys we're going with is banned from the Rose Bowl forever. Whatever it is, getting tickets at the last second is super, super stressful. Game Time is there to help get rid of the stress, lower prices, and they have a low price guarantee. If you can find a better price, same section, same row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. I don't even know why you would try. Instead, just snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create that account, redeem the code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Football. All right. And just to finish up with Miami, who, by the way, Tua doing judo. We need to find a way to make this happen. Maybe get his head on a Bruce Lee situation. I know
who's like an all-time judo person.
I don't know. I'm not.
I'm Googling judo, and man, there are some. Ryan, let's see if we can get. I'm gonna send producer Josh maybe producer Josh. I don't know how deep he is in, but I'm sending him a judo photo. Okay. If you can put Tua's head on that, cool. If not, still the photo is strong enough to just visualize Tua being involved in this. Oh man, too crazy. So that was make playoffs. I'm with you because maybe I'm hedging my bets a little bit. But Ryan, you're high on the Dolphins overall in their offense.
Most points. Period. It's the second year. There's a number of teams going into a second year, either with an offense, with a new quarterback, with both. And so you look at what this offense looked like when Tua was healthy. He didn't finish or didn't play in 6 games last year, Sean, and they still finished the 11th in terms of points. So look, he was out for about a third of the games. That's not that much ground to catch up on. Maybe you're higher on what Fangio and the defense are going to look like, but I definitely think they're going to be the highest. And I looked, I couldn't find it, but really would like to get them as the highest scoring team in the AFC East. Another way to fade old Joshy boy.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Do they have those markets out yet?
At some point they did. I'm not seeing them right now.
But those are again the division specials ones have been super fun.
Stay tuned.
Oh wow! Okay,
I got one later.
Right.
All right. Jets next up. Same win total as the Dolphins, 9.5. You had them going 11-6. I'm at 9-8. So you're over. I'm under.
This is probably because you're not watching Hard Knocks, right? You don't realize how the team is rallying around Aaron Rodgers, aka A-Rod.
This is a bit.
No, I think. We talked about it on the Jets preview episode. To me, whether this Jets team is good or not is the offensive line. Now, Mekhi Becton's been out there. He's been racking up, good practices after good practices. They're getting help on the offensive line. The offensive line.
Oh, Sean.
Quinnen Williams, I think, could have a really big impact on the defensive line. Again, it's probably not like a great long-term pickup, but bringing in Dalvin Cook, I think, I think will help you.
Strange move. I don't
Why
get the
is it
move.
Strange?
Because we've discussed this before. I think most moves where you bring in a running back like that are strange. because I think there's a decent amount of people and data out there that think that Dalvin Cook is definitely on the decline.
No,
and
this is why you bring him in, so that Aaron Rodgers has a veteran presence, a guy that can know all the calls, can help him in pass pickup.
These guys should have hated each other.
What do you mean?
They're rivals, former.
No, come on, A-Rod. He's everyone's friend.
I know it's AAU culture. I don't like. Here's what I will say. I know that there's not culture going on in that locker room, because I think there's too many voices of leadership.
Huh.
Again, my takeaways from Hard Knocks is cool. Like I actually think Aaron Rodgers has grown on me pre Hard Knocks. Just kind of him coming out as a person. I like him more than I used to. I actually kind of like how he's embracing into trolling people and like in leaning into the fact that he's a weirdo. He doesn't give a fuck what you think. But when I watch his involvement in the team leadership dynamic with the coaches and with the other players, I would say it's weird. And I would say, I don't know if that's going to work. It hasn't really worked for him recently. Being disconnected hasn't really worked for him recently. And I don't think he's, I guess that's where I disagree. I don't think he's disconnected. He's going out of his way to create relationships. He seems excited. He seems like a guy who was, it seems faux. Like it seems fake. Well, I think that's kind of how Aaron Rodgers is, but I think so. Maybe that's
he's
where we
excited.
Disagree.
Aaron Rodgers is buying into
I think that's fake.
Aaron Rodgers on the Jets.
I think he's excited for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's building relationships. That's why he brought all his old friends. And I think I think watching the way that the other grown men in the room are acting around Aaron Rodgers, it just doesn't give me confidence they're going to be able to go through adversity well. Like when there's a tough situation that is going to happen, like is it going to happen in the right way? I know everyone loves Robert Saleh. He has all these great fucking metaphors. Which, by the way, the Crow Eagle thing, that
was not a great.
What are we talking about here? That was not good at all. Like you're literally called the Jets. You have engines. Like let's start with that. So yeah, I mean, I'm actually way on the opposite side of this. I'm on missed playoffs plus 110. I think I have decent reason to believe that Aaron Rodgers was in a very positive offensive system that was allowing him to win 13 games a year, and he fucking tantrumed his way out of there. And so while I like the scenario, like you go back, listen to the episode, there is this, if the scenario goes well, do I think Garrett Wilson becomes a guy?
Yeah.
Do I like him in fantasy because of what Aaron Rodgers has done with Devontae Adams in the past? Absolutely.
I mean, the Jets.
Absolutely.
The Jets.
I'm just saying, I don't think that's going to happen.
The Jets are coming off a year where they had the offensive and defensive rookie of the year. Now they're adding that. I think Aaron Rodgers is an upgrade over Zach Wilson. To me, there's a lot in place. The biggest question mark is their offensive line.
Yeah, I'm not questioning the talent.
I guess what I've seen out of the offensive line enough, dude. To me, the Jets crash and burn in the playoffs. Like to me, the Jetsian outcome of all is they're the number one seed. It's regular season Rodgers, right? It's regular season Rodgers, or maybe they're the number 2 seed, 9-point favorite at home, losing the outright.
He played in a division that he owned because there wasn't really competition for a while. He's in a division with massive competition. That was what the strangest part of his decision was. Obviously he wanted to be seen. He wanted to go to New York. He wanted to work on him as like our hero takes a step in the direction of his next chapter. And I get all of that, but I just look, he might not be as good as we think he is. And if I'm worrying about the locker, like again, look at the teams that are having success of late. I mean, even your Eagles is a great example.
No, thank you.
So like Sirianni, where Sirianni won last year was he galvanized a group of men, and Jalen Hurts gets a lot of credit for that. But that every championship team, you hear about something that happened that brought them closer together, that caused them to have to lay in the trench together and understand what it's like to suffer and all the shit that coaches talk about. That happens, and are you seeing that with this team in Hard Knocks? Like I can get excited about the players, but I don't think they're going to be a great team. Some of the parts will be greater than the whole, or whatever the fuck this saying is.
Brian, we mentioned this in the.
I did a lot of this for some reason. I don't. What was that about?
I don't know. I was. By the way, watching it in the monitor.
I was kind of trolling around stuff, and I forgot we have like a Giphy. Like if you search Giphy SGPN, if you have like good clips of us, send them in so we can get them loaded in there. We need to build that store. Anyway, yeah, I'm more outcomes for me. Longer tail on the downside simply because of what bringing Aaron Rodgers here did. That's what, because let me take that. All right. They're so optimistic because Aaron Rodgers is there. When he gets hurt, what happens? Does everyone get sad because he's not here? Remember
Zach Wilson.
Remember what that defensive
Wilson confidence in Zach Wilson.
That's ridiculous. We know he sucks. Like that's one of those where we know.
Anyway. And also they clearly spent a lot in free agency. We do see those teams that lead the league,
but they spent it strangely.
I think
Aaron Rodgers, no, but like bringing in Alan Lazard for some money.
Yeah.
Mecole Hardman.
Oh, okay. Come on. Those guys are like league minimum.
Lazard? They're paying him like $11 million a year.
Really?
Yeah. You're going to be like, whoa. How did I miss this?
All right. Well, still, you're bringing in Aaron Rodgers. Signed it. That was his Green Bay deal. All right. So 2023 base salary $1 million, signing bonus $2.1 million, cap hit 3.2. Yeah, next year they're fucked, but this year that's fine.
Okay.
What I'm getting at is they're putting a bunch of guys that Aaron Rodgers likes around Aaron Rodgers.
But how could that be good for team chemistry? Championship teams need to be more than just clicks.
I'm telling you, I don't think it is a click. I think
you think they all eat lunch together.
Yeah.
Or you think it's Randall Cobb?
Did you listen
Alan
to Garrett
Lazard?
Wilson's press conference? Did you?
Garrett Wilson got invited to the lunch table because he's fucking cool.
Yeah, because he's good, and having good players is good. Garrett Wilson, most receiving yards in the AFC East, plus 400.
I can like that
because Aaron Rodgers.
Actually, I would play it differently.
What would you play?
I would play offensive player of the year. I would go full nuts or lead the league.
Okay.
Devontae Adams was number 2, was in the top 5 in receptions, I believe, 3 years in a row. I think you can absolutely play Garrett to lead the league in receptions, or go full nuclear and go offensive player of the year. Because if it goes well, it's going to be because there's a lot of, like, think about it. I understand that there's weapons, but really it's Garrett Wilson and a bunch of chumps now that Corey Davis retired. But it is, it's no one excites you other than so it's a massive volume, 35% target share. Yep. Could that lead him the league in receptions? Absolutely.
Receptions or receiving yards?
Receptions. I would go receptions.
Okay. Receptions, leading the league in receptions. Garrett Wilson, 25-1. All right. I'll switch it to that.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I don't mind your play.
I'll leave it there. But again,
that's another fun play.
I do like Garrett Wilson in the division specifically, because I think there's a world where Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle cancel each other out a little bit. Obviously, there's some sort of chemistry issue going on with the Bills, Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen.
Let's get to that in a second.
Ryan, before we get to that, you know what? No chemistry issues. Perfect match when it comes to Factor meals. Oh man, looking forward to going home tonight because I got my keto Factor meal ready to go. Football season, if you're a parent or if you're just a hardcore gambling addict like myself, football season, you're busy. There's Thursday night football, Sunday night football, Monday night football, action on Wednesday. Makes it a real pain in the ass to go to the grocery store, do shopping, then or you're taken out, you go through fast food, you eat like shit. Factor is here to help you eat healthy. Come on. America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. If you're looking over at youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast, I mean, they got a sweet chicken parm on top of some really good pasta. I've had that. The salmon I can vouch for. It is, again, super delicious. If you're a protein junkie like myself, Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. Are you kidding me? Breakfast stuff. We're going to be destroying that all season long. Head to factormeals.com/SGPN50 and use code SGPN50 to get 50% off. That's code SGPN50 at factormeals.com/SGPN50.
And just to finish up the Jets, give me under on their point total.
Oh, nice.
413.5. Again, I also like the fade on Aaron Rodgers passing touchdowns. I mean, I think I think they could be a good team running the ball a bit more. The irony of him leaving a system with LaFleur that always wanted to run the ball, but
I mean,
Rodgers
honestly,
didn't want to, and he joins a team that probably better equipped to run the ball.
The annoying thing about Dalvin Cook is it messes up my Izzy Abanaconda Rookie of the Year crazy long shot. Because now and Izzy also got banged up a little bit. Doesn't sound too serious.
Do you like saying Izzy more or trying to say Abanaconda?
Well, Ryan, his parents were at the game, saw him get his knee banged up. They were calling him Izzy. So again, as a Abanaconda family member,
it's never fluid.
Because I'm thinking about right before. Hey, make sure you pronounce it right.
It flows. It's got a rhythm to it. Abanaconda.
Yeah. Izzy Abanaconda, Bills Mafia DJ, and he's lighting up here. He's fired up.
He likes a lot of our bets.
He also likes Quinnen Williams, 30-1 defensive player of the year. Decent value there. I don't hate that at all. I feel like I've given out enough defensive player of the years, and I actually have a long shot one for the Bills when we start talking about them. And the Bills, they are dealing with the potential Madden curse, right?
Yeah, I would. My feed.
We didn't mention that on the Bills preview.
Oh, I'm going to mention it with my player prop. I would say, and by the way, late swap, Josh. So heads up on the graphic. I would say that Quinnen Williams' biggest issue is Sauce Gardner being on his team.
Yeah,
way more personable. I think if the vote is anywhere near split, I could see.
You think Quinnen? Well, again, Ryan, I feel like you're recklessly discussing this Jets team without being caught up through episode 3 of Hard Knocks.
What do you mean?
Quinnen Williams, cue ball. No, he's likable.
Oh, I know. I understand, but he's not as likable as Sauce Gardner. So that's an objective.
Don't get lost in the sauce is a pretty awesome catchphrase.
I mean, the man, again, he's just the swag he has at the age.
Dude, he had an insane year last year.
His interception total is 1.5.
But
and there's positive juice
one more Jets thought, unless of course, Ryan, you have another Jets thought.
No, under the points, 413.5.
Yeah, which I understand, and also there's a world where they get to their win total and hit their under points because that defense I think can carry them. You saw the intensity they had defensively at camp. If that defense stays healthy, I think they're going to be a handful, especially in the AFC East with some of these other offensive lines.
How many points did they score last year? The Jets
375,
296. So it's a big.
It's just a massive jump.
I think when we did the team preview, it's like a touchdown a game.
Well, and again, there's a world where Aaron Rodgers is getting them wins, keeping them in games, not turning the ball over a bunch, a la Zach Wilson, and they're not getting to that crazy high point.
They're going to be a defense first team. Like that's going to be the hilarious part about this Aaron Rodgers, this iteration.
That's
what
I'm saying. I mean, there's a version where he's like a game manager, like a high level game manager, and that works for them, and they rack up a bunch of wins, and then regular season Rodgers gets blown out week 1 in the playoffs. That's the Jets. That is the Jetsian thing I can come up with, and that's why it makes me think they're gonna do really well in the regular season. They're gonna fucking blow in the playoffs.
If he has done anything to, I would say if he's enlightened, maybe that is true. Maybe it's true. He'll manage the game. Just doesn't seem like his character. All right. Last up,
one more point. I was just gonna say for the Jets, it is crazy that Breece Hall was essentially having an offensive rookie of the year type season, blew out his knee, and then Garrett Wilson ends up getting the offensive player of the year, while they also had the defensive rookie of the year. Like they have a crazy amount of young talent on the roster.
No disagreement there.
Okay.
No, I mean, I see the angle. I'm not that low on it. I have them going 9-8. It's not like I'm crushing them.
No, I get it.
I'd rather be on the side that where Rodgers does not work out and Nathaniel Hackett does not work out and Hard Knocks does not work out.
I guess where we differ is that I think it's not going to work out in the playoffs where they come in as a touted team.
That's a fun angle. All right. So the Bills, as you mentioned, 10.5, both of us on 10-7, right on the nose under. It seems like the right thing to do. I mean, this Buffalo team, just the further removed we are from Dable, the more we have to wonder if Josh Allen's brain is just melting, just turning into mush. And frankly, you can bring up the Madden curse because that's the public narrative, but he's doing a lot of commercials. He's doing that shitty Verizon commercial.
He's dating a celebrity.
Remember when Baker did this?
Yeah. No, I mean he went from like dating, and I don't know what her actual deal was, but just some unknown waitress that he was with forever, and now he's dating like a chick in superhero movies. Josh Allen's feeling himself a little bit, and
he got paid.
I mean, we saw it. We saw it, especially in that Cincinnati game, but you even saw it in the Miami game when they were blowing it. Josh Allen is going to try and force things, and that's when they get in trouble. If Josh Allen takes what's available, they're fine. They have a bunch of talent. To your point, like I'm not fading them too crazy. We both have them 10-7 under the 10.5 wins.
Feel pretty good about the under 10.5 though.
Yeah.
I think the fact that their division will provide enough resistance, even the Patriots, and I think the idea that the Bills maybe aren't like I do believe the Bills won't be as good. I obviously I'm believing the fact that my original take, but Dable was pulling the fucking strings. He was the puppet master. And so if he was the puppet master, it certainly wasn't this Ken Dorsey fuck. He couldn't even handle a little adversity in the fourth quarter, taking it out on that poor Microsoft Surface. I'm a former Miami quarterback, real winner. Well, I think Dable mattered. I think we're seeing it with the Giants. I think you're seeing it with the way players are speaking about him. Well, and I think you're seeing the way that McDermott's losing control of the situation little by little.
I think McDermott's stepping in to also be the defensive coordinator. You know, Adam, obviously Bill's mega fan, disagreed with us there, but I do think it's one thing to start out as a guy who's always calling the plays. It's another thing to not ever do it for most of your run, and then to step back in and then not to have a defensive coordinator. I think it's going to hurt you in some of the game time decision stuff, managing timeouts, keeping an eye on everything else. I mean, that's why defensive coordinators have jobs, so that head coaches can focus on, just the game itself. There are rare guys like an Andy Reid that I think can, achieve success calling unique plays. Well, yeah, he's certainly an outlier, but also he's known for having some of the worst clock management and timeout stuff. But he's also calling plays.
But he developed. Yeah, obviously it's tough to multitask. But he develops the quarterback much like Dable, and that's the most important thing in a coach. And whether or not you believe that he can go back to calling plays, you got to ask, why did Leslie Frazier not retire? Plans to come back and coach again in 2024 somewhere else. I think and you have the Diggs friction. I think it seems there's real smoke around the idea that McDermott's losing control. And again, if the offense, like Josh Allen was great when Brian Dable had him in the cage. He had him in the mind cage. Everything was good. And we saw it, Sean, we watched it. Yeah. And I know the stat bros will come out and try to tell me it's the same. It's not the same. It wasn't the same last year. He was back to doing that dumb shit. He was back to running around with the ball flopping around. He was back to having dumbass fumbles costing him games. I mean, remember that Vikings game?
Yeah.
So yeah, I have more questions than answers.
Ryan, I mean, we're talking about kind of fading the Bills offense, and of course they are playing the Jets week 1. I'm over on Underdog Fantasy, checking out their pick'em there. I like, for a week 1 pick'em for Underdog Fantasy, give me under on Stephon Diggs receiving touchdowns. It's set at 0.5. The Jets have always done well defensively against this Bills team. Even last year, held them to 17 points in New York, and even at home against the Jets, they only had 20 points. Stephon Diggs at home was 3 for 37, 0 touchdowns. In New York, he was 5 for 93, 0 touchdowns. I think they're going to put Sauce Gardner on him. He's going to get lost in the sauce. I love the under. Stephon Diggs opening Monday night in New York. Give me the under 0.5 touchdown. And of course, if you want to get in on the action, underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN, double your first deposit up to $100. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Kramer, what do you like the best for the future? I think we're both on the under 10.5 wins.
Yes. It's kind of it feels basic. I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs.
No,
I think they'll be good enough to get it. Maybe that's where I'm wrong and the Jets overtake them, but and that certainly could happen. I don't mind that outcome either. But I just thought taking the under is the right thing to do. I certainly like the idea that they take a slight step back, and a great transition because Josh Allen is more reckless with the ball.
Yeah.
Back to, I mean, and even furthering my point, what is the most noticeable thing about Daniel Jones from pre-Dable to post-Dable?
They don't let him throw the ball.
The turnovers, the interceptions at a hilariously low rate, the fumbles at a hilariously low rate. Meanwhile, what's skyrocketing? Josh Allen's slippery ball syndrome. So
SBS.
I wish I could bet the fumbles, but give me Josh Allen to lead the league in interceptions. Again, the fact that this market starts with the 10-1 when it's real, like I know we're going to give out some long shots over the offseason because it's a great market to bet into.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen is going to be the favorite. And I actually I don't necessarily agree with your Steph Diggs take. I think squeaky wheel stuff. I think he could have an insane season. I actually think he's in the same category as I think Hill, Wilson. Well, Steph Diggs in the division specifically, if you're playing those markets, it's like him versus Wilson because the other to your point, Waddle and Hill.
Yeah, but to clarify that the under half touchdown was game 1 against the Jets.
But I just think in general we could see massive volume.
No, there could be a
Dalton Kincaid.
There could be a hey, we hurt your feelings, but the Jets defense is going to be up for that game. They do a good job holding Steph Diggs down. Maybe the game at Buffalo is where he really goes off on them, but I like the Jets defense against Steph Diggs, especially week 1.
Yeah. So yeah, Allen most interceptions 10-1
for me. Again, editor and Bills, the Dawn of Bills Mafia, Adam Pelletier had turned me on to this one, but Greg Rousseau, Defensive Player of the Year, 200-1. Yeah, it fits the profile, right? Like he's on a high profile team. If the Bills end up being decent, or if they end up winning 12, 13 games, kind of exceeding expectations, he's a guy that comes in, he's coming off an 8-sack season in only 13 games. So
it's also young.
Yeah.
Right. Like was that his second year or first year?
That was his second year. So first year, 4 sacks, second year, last year, 8 sacks, year 3. I mean, this is like a perfect time to peak as a pass rusher. You're on a team that has a bunch of high profile games. You're going up against your Tuas, your Aaron Rodgers, less so McCorkle Jones, but you're going to have some opportunities. And again, maybe I don't think, I just think it's a fun bet at 200-1. I mean, he's a legit pass rusher on a good team.
Yeah. And honestly, I think the price of Von Miller is such that you could probably play both of them and just buy.
Yeah. What's Von Miller's price?
I want to say I looked and it was,
and that's the other reason, like he's playing opposite Von Miller. If Von Miller stays healthy, that makes your job rushing the edge that much easier.
Von Miller 60-1. So.
Yeah. So maybe sprinkle a little bit on both, but I think, can Von Miller stay healthy the entire season? He's getting up there in age, but those games that he's going to be out there, it's going to be tough to block Von Miller and Greg Rousseau. So Rousseau at 200-1 is just super fun.
So are all those bets. Super fun.
I mean, 200-1,
super fun.
I do like Kenny Gainwell to lead the NFC East in rushing yards better at 200-1 if I had to choose one, because that path is super easy. Kenny Gainwell, RB1, chirping.
It's really not easy. It's a bad take.
No, it's a great take. Anything else for the AFC East, Ryan? Obviously, go back, check out all our team previews. We go super hard in the paint, walking you through the entire schedule.
Probably not worth. Yeah, probably not. Probably, I would say the AFC East least volume of total bets. If I was looking to put a metric on it.
Probably, yeah. Because I think that again, there's a couple fun.
But I have a heavy division bet, so I'm invested. I'm invested with the barista. I'm a low key Mike McDaniels.
Oh yeah, I forgot that nickname, the barista. He really was looking cool in those
fucking so cool.
And shout out to Josh because when I'll put on my Mike McDaniel shades.
Yeah, get those things on.
Yeah, why was I not doing this the entire time?
I can't wait till we meet him and you get to meet him wearing those shades.
What's up, Mike?
Maybe at the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be there promoting some CBD. Oh, I forgot. We actually did the barista Photoshop, or I don't know if that's ours or someone's, but we got to bring that back because he really does with those glasses, with his like messy hair. He looks just such like a barista.
What do you do? Well, I'm in art.
Iced coffee, no syrup. Mike, a little grande iced coffee, no syrup. Kramer, we did it.
No room for cream.
No room for cream.
Black. All right, that's it. No movement. You took a win away.
I did.
So quick recap on that before we get out of here.
Yep.
And I saw how you tried to destroy the sheet by just going right into the field and not going back to the original team preview to change the actual win. Don't worry, I fixed it.
No, I changed it.
Don't worry.
Again, see the sheet we argue about in the Patreon. So Bills, or no, we'll start with the Patriots.
You still have 4. You still have 2 wins to give.
Yep, I still have 2
0
wins to reduce. Patriots 4th place plus 100. Zeke under 450.5 rushing yards. Kramer and I are the same for that. For Miami, I have make playoffs minus 105. Miami fewest wins is a prop. A little crazy hedge there. I got him going 10-7. Oh, we got the Tua judo. Perfect.
Oh man, I want to see that.
Keep that up, Josh. While we just go through these bets, Jets to win the division at plus 270. Garrett Wilson most receiving yards in the AFC East. Under 10.5 wins for the Bills. It's now plus 130.
Okay,
getting a little better price there. Greg Rousseau, defensive player of the year, 200-1. Kramer.
Yeah, he was the submarine guy, right? Jacques Rousseau. A 4th place for the Pats and also the under for the Zeke rushing yards. Give me Miami to win the division at 3-1 and them to score the most points in the league at 20-1. Jets miss playoffs. I'll be the heel on this episode. Our hero Aaron Rodgers can survive on plus 110 for that. Under 413.5 points. Reminder, they scored 296 last year, so they're going to have to score 120 more points over the course of the season. That feels like a lot. Then we're going to go Buffalo under 10.5 plus 130. Love that juice. Josh Allen, most interceptions plus 1,000. Brian Dable not coming home.
Daniel in the YouTube chat saying, Bill Belichick's an Irish coffee man. Ooh, like a good Irish coffee. Right off Pats at your own peril and stop being so mean to the greatest of all time, Capper.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Oh, this has to be Capper.
Well, Capper has to.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah, well, here's the full version.
It's a fucking big sea turtle. Look,
yes.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. Holy shit, we are witnessing a baby fucking wheel right here, dude. Holy shit. That thing is big, Jay. What is that thing? It looks hurt.
Oh, Jay.
It looks hurt.
That thing looks hurt, Jay.
Forgot about Jay.
Jay, that thing is hurt, bro. Holy.
My favorite part was we got to get that thing to an aquarium, Jay. I wonder what happened to that sunfish. Probably not doing great. Hey, gonna be out in Vegas. Come out, say hi. We'll be doing some podcasts. Obviously, the live VSiN show Friday night, 9:00 Pacific. Gonna be podcasting from the Circa Ballroom there. Probably 3:00 there, West Coast time, Thursday and Friday. And we're coming back here. Last doubleheader, 8:30 Pacific. Last week of preseason picks.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
It's a whale, not a wheel.
Kramer, let it ride.